VR's great, but not having it include your legs isn't. There are two sides to that problem, let's talk about both. First, the technology. VR tracking is already hard enough when you've got no external sensors, and we've got a moving object tracking itself and two other objects, while having a computer inside rendering games, both of which are done in 3D with almost no perceivable latency, and now you want legs. And yes, I do want legs, so let's do it. Because wearing stuff adds friction to just getting into VR, we will be using an external sensor. The Xbox Kinect, what you're looking at me through right now. That will mean we need a VR-capable computer to do this, but if you're on a Quest, you can still do this if you're using Link, Virtual Desktop, or ALVR. Except, why do we need a PC? I understand the legitimate reason right now is that the software and the hardware were not designed to talk to a PC. But we used to need a PC for any kind of room-scale VR at all, and now we have the Quest, so why can't Oculus just figure this one out? Well, there are people working on it, it's just that it's not necessary. For anything. It would be kind of cool in some games to see that you have a full body, but most game developers make the right decision that it's not worth the time, effort, or money supporting this really niche feature, and then consumers, therefore, make the also still correct decision that if most games don't support it, it's not worth them spending the time, effort, or money to actually get set up with the trackers, actually put things on their body, spend the time setting it up. It's just not needed, and most games that do support full body also work without it. Right now, we're mainly focusing on getting latency down, getting real known IPs into VR, and so these kind of things are just irrelevant for most people. But if that didn't dissuade you, let's do it anyway. You can use either generation of Kinect. I've got the Xbox One version because I have other uses for my Kinect, but if all you want to do is full body tracking, and you've got a big enough play space that the wider FOV of the One isn't necessary, the 360 is probably a better choice. Either way, you'll also need a power adapter that plugs into the wall and then outputs a normal USB connection for the Kinect, and then once you've got that plugged into the PC, download Kinecttovr from the link, install it like normal, and then when it tells you to, restart the PC. Once you're back, if you're using ALVR, open that, go to the installation tab, and register your drivers. Then you can close it and get to calibration. But before calibration, what are you calibrating for? I know I find this really cool, and so I spent the money on it, but I don't want this video to convince you to buy something you're not actually going to use. Like, the only games that come to mind immediately for me are Blade and Sorcery, which I don't play, an old and no longer needed Beat Saber mod for multiplayer before multiplayer was an official thing, and VR chat. And if you're a streamer and you want to use Liv's avatar streaming thing, well, the tracking isn't perfect, so that's going to look even more off than it normally would, and if you're getting a Kinect anyway, rather than using it for full body tracking, you may as well just use it as a virtual green screen and put your real self into the Live mixed reality thing. I just don't want this video to convince you to waste money, is all. It's really cool, and you might see this and think, wow, it works really well, that looks really good, and then buy it and never use it. But if you're still for it, let's do some calibration. So we're gonna hope it's as simple as launching the app. Right. So we've launched Kinecttovr. We can see this menu. If I turn on Show Hide Skeleton Tracking, we can kind of see what Kinect thinks it sees, and because it's looking at me from top down, I look kind of stretched, which is a bit weird, but that should be fine. And we can spawn trackers. Oh, I just realized what went wrong. You are in the way of Kinect. Let me fix that. Okay, now it should be able to see me better when I go close. My legs shouldn't break. There we go. Okay, this should work better. I'm going to start in the back corner of my room. I'm going to calibrate it. We'll just keep it at 4 points and just keep going. But as you can probably see, even on this 30 FPS video, they don't look too smooth. They're kind of shaken in place, but we can fix that. So we've got different positional tracking filters. It's just in the options section once you're done calibrating, and there are a bunch of different things you can do. So we're currently on no filter. We can try extended calming. This one is very smooth, but it adds quite a bit of lag, if you can tell from the, I don't know, I'll sync the video so you can kind of see how the tracking compares. compared to linear interpolation. This feels the best to me, so I'm going to leave it on this. Another thing you can kind of do to help tracking is you can see them kind of wobbling in place, not so much shaking. And I hear that's just a problem with Xbox One Kinect. You can just disable feet rotation, or you can just make them look the same way as your head. But if I don't move my head, they'll still shake a bit, but much less. And there's still some lag, but you're not looking at your legs when you're playing. I'm looking forward. I can't see what they're doing. But if I'm in VR chat and I'm just standing in the spot, kind of leaning around, then people can see that that's happening. Or if hypothetically I were in Blade and Sorcery and you go to kick someone, it's gonna work and it's not gonna be too slow. And while this certainly isn't a gameplay video, I have lowered the camera a bit so you can hopefully see more of how I'm moving my body, and we're gonna try VR chat. Rather than doing anything remotely interesting, I've just picked a robot avatar and we're gonna walk up to a mirror. But I would like to kind of show you how this works. You can maybe see, if I look to the sides quickly, that my arms are kind of in a T-pose. That's the point. So you just kind of stand. It's kind of hard to see because the chest is in the way. Basically, just stand up straight. Arms out. I don't know if you do need to T-pose with it. I do anyway. Just copy the pose it's doing, press the triggers, and there you go. I've picked a really generic avatar because then no one can possibly judge it. I think height could be a bit off because if I go on my tiptoes, he's like standing more straight. If I go normal, he's crouching. I think that's probably just VR chat with my height set wrong. It works. I don't know. Avatars, what's there? I'll be that one. Oh. See, and now I'm this. Oh, his mouth moved. Whatever. It just kind of works, and it's not particularly jittery. It will. I'm not sure how to show turning around. If I turn around with my head that way, it can kind of track you. If you turn around fully, it should still be tracking you. But while you're turning around, it doesn't work. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it actually works really well. The only problem left to solve is that not many games support it, and that's why I keep mentioning it. Don't buy this if you don't already have in mind what games you're going to use it for because you know they support full body tracking. And that's my conclusion. You should probably do this if you can afford a Kinect and play VR chat. But otherwise, there just aren't many games that support it. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed. It's giving some old Kinects a reason to still exist. Bye.